Rise and shine, ladies and gentlemen. Kocosports.com is proud to present Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. That's why you got to have two hosts do this show, because if I could do a half-ass job and the other gentleman here can do a half-ass job, together we might be able to crank out something that's passable. Now, if you're looking to check out Raw, you're not going to find it here. If you'll look down here below in the links below, as soon as we get it up, we'll have your link and you can check it out. But in the meantime, stay right here, and we want to say thank you to the 5,000 people who pushed us over the top and got us to that number. Thanks, Mom. And everyone who's joined the Internet Infantry. So thank you very much, but enough with pleasantries. Let's get on to the introductions. I am the sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, boom, boom, here shaking the room live from beautiful Omaha, Nebraska. You got your main man. We're talking about the man, the quiet behind the riot, the silence behind the violence. Yeah, you got Big Pablo in sunny South Florida taking your questions right here on YouTube. So please get your questions in. And then, of course, you got to do it without, you couldn't do it without my brother, the man, the myth, the independent wrestling legend, Dave Kocotis. Dave, I guess I got to ask you, man, this is the first question we always ask every show, so I'm going to be the one who asks you tonight, sir.
All right.
This episode of Monday Night Raw, was it a win, loss, or was it a tie?
This is tough. This is tough because I was all over the place. When Batista quit, that was a win. My hat is dirty as crap. Anyway, when Batista quit, it was a win, but the whole show was just a loss. And then I was like, oh, what the hell? And then, of course, at the very end, they had the super heel turn. And when it was the super heel turn, I was like, woohoo! I'm going to say this is a win, but it's like a sandwich. Like, it started off with a win, Batista, and I always said this, when Dave Batista's not a pro wrestler, coolest guy in the world. As soon as he quit, I'm like, you know what? I like that Dave Batista guy. If he was like, I'm just fucking with you, I'm back. I'm like, I fucking hate you. Don't wrestle. So Batista quitting was awesome, and then the heel turn at the end of the book was awesome. Everything in between was bad. Like, he just, you know, like, killing the crowd softly with bad booking. That's what it was. It was just pure bad booking, and I wonder if they did that on purpose. I don't know. I have a lot of complaints about it. I'm going to give it a win, but a very angry win. It's like, yeah, Batista quit. What the fuck is this shit? Whoa, heel turn. All right, I'm going to give you a win, but I'm not happy. All right, there. How do you like it? How do you like it now? But, yeah, I'm giving it an angry win, if that's even a possible thing. I'm going angry win. You boobs?
Angry win?
What's yours? Win, loss, or tie?
You know what? I'm going to give it a loss. This was like a blowout Super Bowl. One team's up 56-0. You know, they've got like the third string on the field, just trying so that way the guys can say, "Hey, I played in a Super Bowl." And the other team with the backup quarterback sneaks one up the middle at the 1-yard line and scores a touchdown with like 30 seconds left to go. Garbage touchdown, so it's like 56-7. So it's not a complete total shutout. So that's what I'm going to give Monday Night Raw. I'm going to give it a loss. For the most part, yeah, there was a couple of highlights here and there. However, the show overall was a fucking dumpster fire, and I cannot, in good conscience, give it a win.
All right, so yeah, there you go. So, man, we're all over the place on this, and I can see loss like the whole time. Like, you know, like, it's hard to be a professional wrestling fan. Like, right now, one of our Internet Infantry members, Ewok, stopped watching wrestling because he lost his smile. I did check in on it, online chat, so I appreciate that. But I almost lost my smile halfway through the show. I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you effing kidding me? So I could see why it's a loss. I'm going to say Batista quitting and a huge heel turn is enough for me to give it an angry win. Down in the comments, please put win, loss, or tie. We will try to read them. We do have Pablo in the booth, so please send us as many questions as you can. And, yeah, 5,000, man. I'm going to have to make a special video, because that's what you're supposed to do on YouTube. But, yeah, thanks. I know, like, you know, I don't know. It's kind of a big deal. Hopefully we get to 6,000. So hopefully we can grow. Hopefully it's not such a bad show. We're like, we made 5,000, because, you know, who told us? Someone told us in the comments. Give me a second. Boom, boom. Aaron Moore told us. We made 5,000. We're exactly at 5,000. So, like, we'll throw a huge party, and people are like, you guys make too many videos and never shut the fuck up. Unsub, unsub, unsub. We're like, oh, we had that moment. We had that moment at 5,000. It felt so good. Give yourself a Barry Horowitz before someone unsubscribes.
We hit 5,000, so I guess that means Google owes us like a food processor or something.
I don't know, man. But, all right, let's focus. Let's focus. We're done giving ourselves a Barry Horowitz. Bam! Let's break it down. Let's break it down.
All right, let's break it down here. Now, as Dave mentioned here at the top of the show, that we talked about Batista quitting Evolution. And if you didn't see this, just watch Raw because they replayed the same fucking segment every 15 goddamn minutes. It was, no, I'm done. I want my one-on-one title shot. Oh, no, you don't get what you want, until I say you do. I promise you everything as soon as we finish this fight. Oh, I understand, and I quit, and walks off. And we saw that moment like 27 fucking times. Maybe that's not factually accurate, but we saw that segment like every fucking 15 minutes. Hey, in case you didn't notice, Batista quit. Batista quit. And then Blutista is the number one word trending on Twitter, whatever the hell it works. I don't give a damn. But I know why he was leaving. He actually stayed on longer than what I thought he would, but he's got to go now to go promote Guardians of the Galaxy, so obviously he can't be on WWE television. Dave, do you think we've seen the last of Dave Batista in the WWE? Do you think he comes back once the promo's over? He comes back fresh off the hype from Guardians of the Galaxy, and they try to, I want to say give him like a face turn, give him like the face push that he wants, that they promised him, or do you think he's going to be out for a few more years?
Well, he's only got a 2-year contract. This is supposed to be his last run. He was going to take time off for the movie, and he was going to take time off for the movie. So, I guess maybe it's a little bit scheduled. I know they wanted to go early, but from what I've read, it's been a rocky relationship. He was promised stuff and didn't receive it. And I'm surprised they're not advertising the Marvel movie. Maybe when it gets closer, they will. But I think he will return. I just don't think they can make him a face. I don't think Batista is the coolest person in the fucking world as long as he's not a pro wrestler. The second he's a pro wrestler, he's a horrible human being, okay? I don't... Maybe he'll come back as a heel. Maybe. I don't know. Possibly as a face. I think with a 2-year contract, he probably has to come back. But I'm sure, because Matt in Facebook mentioned something. Batista returning was almost the last straw. Batista getting the main event at WrestleMania was the last straw that got rid of CM Punk. So you lost a huge, huge star. Now, granted, there was a lot of situations. There was a big bag of shit that CM Punk was carrying. That wasn't the only thing that snapped, but that was like one of the final things. Because he was promised the main event, and wow, sometimes art imitates life, and he just quit. So I kind of, he was like, oh, Matt brought up a great point on Facebook. He's like, well, what the fuck? That was a huge failure. You lost CM Punk, and that Batista was... I don't care if you're a huge Batista fan or not. You have to admit, this run in WWE was a huge failure. There was nothing positive about this at all. He didn't get to promote his movies. He looked bad as a face, looked bad as a heel.
Yeah, WWE brought Batista back. They sold him a bill of goods. I will say that. They sold him a bill of goods. They pretty much told him that, oh, no, come on back. Yeah, come on back. You'll be greeted back with open arms like a conquering hero. And he came back and got a rude fucking awakening that nobody could fucking stand him, that nobody wanted to see him again. They didn't care that he was gone. This wasn't like the response that like the fans gave to The Rock. And it just got completely turned up. And they tried. I mean, they tried to make it work, but it just didn't work. People didn't take to him. And a lot of stuff that he got promised didn't go through. Now, I put that blame more so on WWE rather than Dave Batista himself because he just got put into a shitty situation. Now, that's not to say that I feel that much sympathy for Dave Batista because, I mean, to be honest, I've never been a fan of him. I never liked him. I didn't like him when they gave him, like, the singles push when he was broke off from Evolution the first time. I especially hated it when he was a heel feuding with John Cena, and he apparently found the Konami code for unlimited title shots, because I think that's all 2000, I want to say 2005. No, I think it might have been 2007. It was it 2005. I'm trying to remember. It was just, I mean, almost every fucking pay-per-view, it was Cena versus Batista.
Yeah. So to me, I really think, like, when people say, oh, the best, the worst, when Cena, Randy Orton, and Batista were on top, that was the worst for pro wrestling in general. I hope he never comes back. I just, because I hate to say this, but Dave Batista is a cool person. Now, do you want your girlfriend or wife to be anywhere within 10 miles of him? Not at all. But besides that, he's a very cool person. Like, if your wife and girlfriend's not around, cool fucking dude. I've met him before in Tampa. I've met friends of his in Tampa. Cool fucking dude. Horrible pro wrestler. Just absolutely horrible. I hope he continues either doing MMA, helping Tampa Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I hope that he becomes a huge success in Marvel and movies. And, yeah, I just go away. Go away. This is one of those things you probably... I'm going to go with, there's no way WWE, Batista, and everyone involved does not regret this decision at all. I mean, everyone involved. Dave Batista has to regret coming back. WWE has to regret coming back. I mean, they're not going to say anything because, it's political bullshit. But I think at the end of the night, they're all in the back. At the end of this Monday Night Raw going, wow, that was horrible going, boys. That was horrible. So I wish Batista nothing but success as long as he doesn't step in the wrestling ring. If he never steps in a wrestling ring again, I want nothing but success for him. As soon as he steps in that wrestling ring, fuck you. I fucking despise you. I hate you. All right? Those are the rules. I enjoyed it a lot because anytime a member of the D Club is completely gone, it makes me smile a little bit. It's like, wow, that's one less person we have to deal with. All right. Booms, you got anything else to add, or you just want to keep breaking it down?
Nothing to add on that one. Let's get into the show now. The first match, I was excited when I found out this was the first match. In practice, not so much, but it was like, okay, we're going to have a tag match. Yeah, okay. It's going to be Sheamus and Rob Van Dam versus Wade Barrett and Cesaro. Fuck yeah! Tag team of the year! Put them together! Give them a title shot against the Usos! Hell yeah! Oh, and Paul Heyman's going to do special guest commentary. Fuck yeah! This is awesome! This is the best match ever! And then it happened.
Yeah, it wasn't that good of a match. I hate to say this, but Rob Van Dam, I think, was the weak link in the match. Cesaro, it's so weird because WWE has a problem. Their problem is all their fucking heels are awesome and all their faces are fucking complete goobers. So everyone wants to root for the bad guys. But I might shock someone. This might make player guys happy. It might shock someone. What's his name? You ever noticed, since he came back from his injury, which he might have took way too long, Sheamus, his injury, and he went to the UK, Sheamus might be out of the D Club. He is really busting his ass the last few months. I'm going to give it time. But you know what? I could see Sheamus busting his ass out of the D Club. I'm rooting for you because Sheamus was awesome on the Independents. And he was awesome at FCW. And then something happened in FCW. I don't know if he put Triple H's balls in his mouth. I don't know if he's like, wow, if I just fucking be safe and kiss ass, I could be rich as fuck. Be like, I'm rich, bitches! I don't need to work! I don't know what happened to Sheamus. But ever since he came back from injury, went back to his home continent, yeah, he's been busting his ass a lot more. I mean, even us, Sheamus haters, Boom, you're a Sheamus hater. You have to say he's improved since the UK trip.
It's still the same old shit. It's not even. I mean, it's the same shit. It's the same bucket. It's still Sheamus. I'm not really seeing anything different. So he's always going to be in the D Club to you. Always be part of the D Club. Always going to be the D Club for me.
All right. Well, there you go. Poor Sheamus. I tried, Sheamus. I tried. D Club for life. All right. Yeah, it wasn't that bad of a match. It's just, the wrong guys won, of course. And that's the pattern tonight. You're going to be very disappointed. Like, the crowd is hot, and they're like, we love this guy, not this guy. Oh, of course. Yeah, no, go on. Thank you. Thank you for breaking my heart. I look forward to this, yes. All right. I have. Can I stop this for a wrestling theory? I have a wrestling theory. No facts whatsoever. Just a theory of mine. It's a wrestling theory. I think they never want another CM Punk or Daniel Bryan again. Think about it. Daniel Bryan made Batista's return horrible. Daniel Bryan proved to the fans that they can change WWE booking. CM Punk changed wrestling. I don't think they want guys who can go that are over with the crowd ever being good again. Because think about it. Everyone that was over with the crowd that could go lost tonight. And some of them lost major. So my wrestling theory is if they can actually wrestle good and the fans like them, they're just going to be in the doghouse forever. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why Sheamus is in the D Club. They figured it out.
WWE wants those types of superstars. They just want to create them, and they want to have a hand in their success. They want to guide them from their rookie year all the way up to the top. They don't want anything organic. They don't want, a situation where, Daniel Bryan was in, people started to like him, then they fired him. People, gave WWE all holy hell about it. They brought him back. People started cheering for him. They're like, okay, he's good. And they're like, no, we want him to be the champion. They're like, well, it's like, no, goddammit, we want him to be the fucking champion. And, well, what if we bring back Batista? No, fuck you. We want him to be the fucking champion.
I don't think they want that. And I don't think it's they make it themselves, because if you think about it, Dolph Ziggler is their creation. And I really think they are to the point now, they're like, he can wrestle, the fans like him, bury him. Bury him. And Sheamus is like, I can't wrestle, the fans don't like me, to the moon! So, I don't know, it's just a theory, but my theory is pretty strong with tonight's booking. We got go ahead, Booms.
Yeah, I agree with you. The booking was absolutely horrendous tonight. It just made no fucking sense. And I'm like, this is supposed to be the #1 wrestling company in the world, and this is some of the worst booking ever. Independent wrestling shows have better booking than this. Okay, for example, with this Rob Van Dam, Sheamus versus Cesaro and Barrett, on paper, it's like, if I was to find this out, say they were naming this match now, and this was going to happen on SmackDown, we would be like, oh, wow, this sounds actually pretty good. I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder how they're going to, get this, because who's going to go over and how they get. And when it was actually practiced, I was like, okay, they can't have Sheamus or Barrett take a pin because you still want them to look strong as the champions, but you don't want to especially bury somebody like Cesaro who's up and coming. So it's like, logically, you're thinking Rob Van Dam, but he just lost. You want him to still look good. So it's like, okay, what are they going to do? Well, they had Cesaro walk out, leave Barrett high and dry, 2-on-1. Van Dam hits the 5 stars frog splash, and the good guys win. And it was, okay.
Yeah, it was a little bit depressing, and it's not even heel versus face. It's literally who do people like lost tonight. We got some comments. You want to go to some comments before the next match? Franielli says, at least Batista was willing enough to put people over. That is very true. We're looking at you, John Cena. Most of this run he spent on his back. Yeah, Batista did do the right thing, but, I still don't like him as a wrestler, but he's way better than John Cena. Jerb Wood says, personally think Batista was starting to get back into the groove. Really hate the way they tried to bring him back, though. That alone could have ruined his wrestling career for good. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think even Batista knows that, because I think his agent sent out a press release because there was rumors that Batista wasn't willing to put Daniel Bryan over, and that was just not the case. And according to Batista's agent, they're like, no, they're just trying to make Batista look bad because they promised him a lot more money. One more comment, Aaron Moore. Batista is terrible, but he put Daniel Bryan over in the Shield the past couple months. He did the right thing and have to admit it. That is true. Let's give a moment to remember that. Batista did do the right thing. He did put people over. And like I said, Batista is one hell of a guy, as long as he's not in a wrestling ring and near your female friends. All right? Batista would be great for a guy's night out, as long as you don't bring your girlfriends. Great person, just wouldn't bring your wife or girlfriend around them and don't want him in a rare wrestling ring. But yeah, he did do the right thing. Unlike dun 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 dun. All right. I think that's it for live comments for now. Pablo, please keep sending them and with questions. All right. Bam. Boom. So let's get back on track.
Okay, next here, this is a segment I absolutely fucking hated. It's because, okay, Damien Sandow came out dressed as, drumroll, ladies and gentlemen, Lance Stevenson, made fun of the Pacers. The Big Show came out. He challenged him to basically a basketball one-on-one competition.
Hold on. Big Show doesn't do sports one-on-one unless it's WrestleMania. That's a free WrestleMania match right there. I mean, doesn't anyone remember WrestleMania 13.7 when Big Show had a putting challenge against Tiger Woods? All right, go on.
All right. Big Show threw the basketball into Sandow's gut. He gave him the knockout punch. Then, for the hell of it, did a slam dunk on a goal solo that me and Dave could do it, flat-footed. And I'm like, poor Damien Sandow. Let me tell you something. When your gimmick consists of dressing up in costumes, mocking people, emulating other people, that means your career is in a fucking death spiral. It happened with Charlie Haas. It happened with Eugene. Anybody else, you name it, anybody else who resorts to doing that, it's only a matter of time before they're fucking gone. At this point, I think it would be merciful to send either Damien Sandow back down to NXT and try to repackage him, or just straight up mercifully just let him go. Just cut him loose. Just fucking admit it, WWE. Just call him up, give him the fucking cop-out, give him the whole... Now, you can say, oh, well, Creative doesn't have anything... Creative doesn't have anything for you right now, which is basically code slang for our writing team is so goddamn pathetic we can't come up with anything for you to do, so we're going to punish you for our fucking mistake and fire you. So I'm honestly thinking that needs to happen because Sandow is a hell of a lot better than what he's getting. He had a lot of potential, but nope, he went up against dun, 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 and he's never been the same since. So R.I.P. Sandow. I really wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
This is horrible on many levels, but I'm not going to be the conspiracy theorist guy. It goes perfect with my wrestling theory. He can wrestle, and the fans like him. Done. Sorry, Sandow. I'm sorry that you actually have talent, and I'm sorry that people can connect to that and root for you. That is obviously your fault. You did not talk to Del Rio. You didn't talk to Sheamus. You didn't talk to Orton, Batista, or Cena. This is bad career advice. You did something completely horrible. You learned the trade of professional wrestling, and you let fans respected you and enjoyed your work. The fuck were you thinking? This ain't WWE's fault. This is your fault. What the fuck were you thinking learning how to wrestle and connect with the crowd? Really? That's blood on your hands, Sandow. That is blood on your hands. Go ahead.
Next year, this is only the second match of the night. We had the match that was supposed to happen last night at Payback, but happened tonight. It was Bo Dallas versus Kofi Kingston. Not bad for what it was. I can tell right now Bo Dallas is definitely a WWE project. They're going to take it slow and steady with him. They're going to work out the kinks, and they're going to move them up. Kofi, God bless him. Again, he's another guy that fucking deserves better, but he's got the crap beat out of him. He's been resorting to guest commentary on pre-shows, and last night he got demolished by Kane. Finally had his return match with Bo Dallas, wound up doing the JOB. This was, it's okay, and I know somebody has the job, but quit picking on poor Kofi, man. Kofi didn't do nothing to you, WWE. Bo Dallas, I think it's going to be well. If here's something that he could do. Why not Bo Dallas? And I know this is going to sound cheesy, and I know people have talked about this before. But why not have some Bo-levers? Where he takes people like Damien Sandow, people like Kofi Kingston who are on the fucking skids right now, and pep them up, and they kind of start hanging out, and not exactly become like a faction. They just become Bo-levers, and they suddenly see their careers start to turn around, and then there's a little bit more to this, instead of Bo Dallas just being this goofy guy who's talking positive and acting like a goofball. it's okay. He's really inspirational. He's really helping these people out. It makes them believe in themselves. They were down and out. Well, they started listening to Bo Dallas, and boom, their careers have turned around. And I think that would be be a little bit better for them. Now, I think that needs to be a long-term goal, but in the short term, I think they're doing the right thing. They're slowly introducing them. They're bringing them out. They're having them wrestle short matches, and I think they're gradually going to pick them up and make them go a little bit longer, and then maybe they can do something with them. Or they're going to do what they do with every fucking body, including the likes of Fandango, Tenzai, Zack Ryder. They're just going to fucking just drop the fucking ball, and he's going to be jobbing to fucking Kofi Kingston on SmackDowns in about 6 months.
Yeah, it's a tough call. One, you answered a question, and I know you didn't really want me to answer it, but I'm going to answer it. What did Kofi do? What have we been talking about all day? He can wrestle, and the fans like him. That's on Kofi Kingston.
Well, Dave, I'm not sure about that. I think there might have been another problem with Kofi Kingston because WWE has this track record with people like Kofi Kingston, and there's just something about Kofi Kingston that that's not allowing him to get over. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I really don't know what it is, and I really hope WWE can overlook some things and really get behind them.
Yeah, Kofi, you got a lot going wrong for you. You're talented, you're awesome, and you work for a bunch of racists. The whole thing is, I'm a believer. I am. I love this guy. I think he's the Stephen Colbert. I think he's the Stephen Colbert of John Cena. I just absolutely love him. I'm worried about the NXT jump. And we've had this recently with a lot of guys. You're so over in NXT, and then bam, on the big stage, no one knows who the hell you are. That jump is huge. So I hope the WWE Universe accepts him and start getting in on the joke. But with that said, dude, he has to work on that Bodog. He's only done it like 3 times on the big stage, and all 3 times it looked fucking awkward. I'm like, is this son of a bitch gonna be okay? I could see if you were training for a week and you were in the backyard or in the gym, and you're like, I'm practicing this, I'm gonna get this down. But to be on WWE and move at that pace, either you have to perfect that move, or you just have to fucking retire that one and come up with another bow finisher. Because that Bodog looks ugly as shit.
Oh, God, that was an ugly one.
Yeah, but I don't think he's done a good one on WWE. He's done good ones in NXT, but WWE, it's like I'm pretty sure Kofi had to carry him. Like, there's halfway, like, you fucking fat motherfucker, goddamn motherfucker. So, yeah, but I enjoy both these wrestlers, and, hopefully they both shine in the future. All right. Booms, you ready? Let's break it down. Next match.
Let's keep moving down. That's actually not necessarily a match, but it was the Stephanie McMahon coming out talking about how selfish Daniel Bryan is, and that coming up at Money in the Bank, either Bryan's going to wrestle against Kane in a stretcher match because fuck it, why not? Or if he's not able to go, then for the first time ever, people are going to compete in the Money in the Bank for the newly vacated title. So it's actually kind of a race against time, which I like that they acknowledge that Daniel Bryan's hurt and he may or may not come back, and they've actually got plans, and it makes sense. It fits in the storyline. If he comes back, stretcher match against Kane. If not, we're putting the title belt up on the hook, and guys have at it. So I kind of like that idea, but then and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, we're about to hit the fucking reset button, aren't we? Daniel Bryan's fucking hurt. Daniel Bryan's not coming back, and we're about to hit the fucking reset button, aren't we? Yeah, oh, God, no. Oh, dear God, no. He's already got the Kocosports.com internet title. Please, dear merciful Terry Funk, do not let him get back into the damn title picture. And John Cena went there and kissed up to the crowd, came off like a complete total douchebag. And this went on. This just didn't go on. This went on for like 20 fucking minutes. 20 fucking minutes of calling her a spoiled bitch. Well, probably didn't use those words exactly. Talked about, injury and trying to put over, kissing Daniel Bryan's ass, trying to get himself over with the crowd, whatever. Listening to the Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks chants. And then this is another thing that boggles me about especially these baby faces when they go up against an authority figure. They talked about, well, if I had to give you a job evaluation, if 10 means 2 thumbs up and 1 means get your resume ready for career builder, I'd give you a 0, and 0 means you suck. And I'm like, why do you do this? Seriously, and you act shocked. You fucking act shocked when Stephanie McMahon's like, okay, well, you know what? You're going to have a match against Kane, and that match starts, oh yeah, right now. What? Huh? I just insulted you for the past 10 fucking minutes. I didn't see this coming. I insulted the one person who can pick my opponents and make me wrestle.
Yeah. First off, I don't understand the announcement. All right, I understand if he doesn't make it back, but announcing his opponent, we all know who his opponent is. Do you know who Daniel Bryan is wrestling at WrestleMania 39? I already know. Kane. Do you know who Daniel Bryan's retirement match is going to be? Kane. Do you know what his comeback match is going to be? Kane. Do you know what the next pay-per-view's match is going to be? Kane. Do you know who we wrestled in 1986? Kane. Do you know who we wrestled in 1912? Kane. The year was 15 BC, and the main event was Daniel Bryan versus Kane. Oh, what a fucking waste of a goddamn feud. Fuck you, Kane. You know, here I got a comment here. Grevin64 says, now that Batista's gone, how the hell do we get rid of Kane? Well, we can't get rid of Kane, because who the hell is Daniel Bryan supposed to wrestle? I'm convinced Daniel Bryan's like, I don't want to ever wrestle anyone else ever again but Kane. The feud is never going to end.
It sounds a lot like Jerry Lawler and Jackie Fargo, and I'm going way back there. Those two are exclusive opponents to each other. Jackie Fargo will only wrestle Jerry Lawler now. At that point, I mean, he's an old guy now, but he's just in that point in his career, so, and he trusts Jerry Lawler, so I'm thinking maybe it's the same thing. You know, Kane, Daniel Bryan, they're exclusive opponents to each other.
Just like, I don't give a shit what's going around the world, we're going to wrestle each other. But, yeah, and the worst part is, they're like, it's a feud of the century, and they're trying to sell it. I'm like, no, Daniel Bryan has beat him 9 billion times in a row. It's, you know, it's just...
But here's the thing, like, I really did enjoy, like, some of Stephanie's stuff. She did some great, you know, mic work as a bad guy. She really did. You know, but then John Cena comes out. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Why are you coming out here and putting yourself... I thought he was going to say, okay, well, you know what? I want to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match, you know, or put me in a qualifying match. I thought that's what he was going to do. But instead, he was like, well, I'll just enjoy the WWE Universe. They think you suck, and... You know, and Stephanie always had good retorts. She always had good cuts. It's like they rehearsed this shit. They probably did, you know, before they came out there. It was really good. It was actually, but it just kept dragging on and on and on, and it got boring. And finally, I sat up and said, shut the fuck up and get to the goddamn point. That's how long it went.
Yeah, and not only that, but I'm gonna get to Stephanie Pee Pants McBoobs here. Stephanie Pee Pants McBoobs here, fucking. She serves no purpose. She is worse than her husband. She is worse than John Cena. Because at least John Cena is going to beat you. At least Triple H will beat you 900 times in a row and let you win at WrestleMania. This is why Stephanie McMahon's the worst. Where's this going? She is not a witty person. So all the writers worked all night long on that segment. All the writers' efforts went into that segment. Did Sandow get any good lines? Of course he did. That was one good line. But anyway, did Kofi get any good lines? Did any of these other wrestlers get good lines? No, because the writers wasted all their good lines, all their zingers on Stephanie McMahon. And here's the shock, kids. There's not going to be a Stephanie McMahon-John Cena feud. There's not going to be a Stephanie McMahon-John Cena match. There's not going to be a Stephanie McMahon-Daniel Bryan match. So all these writers are working overtime to put over this woman, and you guys on the internet are like, she got the best of John Cena. Line of the night from I was about to call her Trish Stratus, but fucking Stephanie McMahon, when she zinged CM Punk. Where are the feuds going? Where are they going? At the end of the day, there's a rule in business. Why you're in business? What are you selling? And they forgot that. What are they selling? Are they selling a CM Punk versus Stephanie McMahon match? Are they selling a Stephanie McMahon versus Daniel Bryan match? Are they selling a Stephanie McMahon? So all these writers are getting these zingers, and you're eating it up alive. But that's all the writers not putting over other people. Now, my whole thing is, if she was going to go and have zingers against Brie Bella, and her and Brie Bella are going to have a match, bravo. Good job, writing team. But I'm going to go with, Booms, is it a safe bet that John Cena and Stephanie McMahon will never have a match?
No, not only will they never have a match, she'll never get her comeuppance. You know, and I said, you know, back when they were setting up the whole Daniel Bryan debacle, when they were fucking him over on a weekly fucking basis, it was, oh, well, you know, you can do that as long as the bad guy gets their comeuppance in the end. As long, you know, they can do all this bad stuff as long as they get theirs in the end. That good guy finally gets that one shot in there and puts the bad guy in their place. And Dave was like, no, it'll never happen. I was like, no, we got to give it time. And it never happened.
It never does when it comes to Stephanie McMahon.
And I'm like, what makes you think that, and it's like anybody out there, what makes you think she's going to get hers in the end this time around? She never gets hers in the end. It's fucking pathetic.
Be a star.
And then what followed next was John Cena versus Kane, which ended in a fucking disqualification in 3 minutes. Kane ran him into the corner, kept hitting on him, didn't break for the 5 count. Referee disqualified him. He pitched a temper tantrum, and then I was like, you know what? Maybe we should put Kane and Alicia Fox together as a tag team.
Oh, Jesus. The problem with this. The problem with reviewing this, John Cena doesn't exist. And now, since he's feuding with Kane, Kane doesn't exist. That's how I get through Raws. This match never happens. It just never happened. There's my review. John Cena doesn't exist to keep my sanity, and on top of that, his opponents don't exist. Remember that. They don't exist. All right, so that match never happens.
Yeah, so speaking of things that should never exist, is this fucking feud between Los Matadores and Three-Man Band.
It's never going to end. Booms. No. It's never going to end. You're going to love it. Never going to end. It's going to stay forever.
This reminds me of the epic feud between Hornswoggle and Chavo Guerrero. It never ended. It never ended. It never stopped. It went on for like 87 weeks in a row. It never stopped. It got worse. And just when you thought they hit rock goddamn bottom, they kept on fucking digging. Same thing with Three-Man Band and Los Matadores. This time they shaved half the head of Hornswoggle, and they're just going to keep this thing going. And it's like, this is never going to end. This has no point. Why the hell is... Okay, if this is on SmackDown, I can understand. If this was on Saturday Morning Slam, but, oh yeah, it got canceled because, remember, it's for kids now. Yeah, that would make sense, but not on fucking Raw. This was not entertaining. Okay, and if it's for the kids, why is it on in the 9 o'clock hour, 9, 10 o'clock hour? Why is it on that late if it's for kids? What kids are up watching this?
Vince McMahon is. He's just got popcorn. It's like, this is funny shit. Get it? He's totally lost fucking...
Yeah, he likes fart jokes and little people. So that's all I know about Vince McMahon at this point. This was just horrible. Matadors got the win. Do you want to say anything about it, or can we move on?
I think, like you said, this would be perfect for Saturday Morning Slam. This would be perfect if there was a kids product out. But to say you're a kids product while selling Hair Club for Men 10 o'clock at night, you're just lying to yourself. I think it's cute and funny for Saturday Morning Slam. To be on Monday Night Raw it's just a disgrace to everything. And not only that, but JBL and Michael Cole have to put it over. That's what makes it even fucking worse. So just garbage. All right, go ahead.
All right, let's see here. Next match was a handicap match. You had Oksana and Alicia Fox teaming up to take on Nikki Bella in a handicap match because Nikki said she missed her sister, and they needed some way to promote the WWE app, so they said, fuck it, you're in a handicap match for being Brie's sister. And they beat the living bejesus out of her in like 2 minutes, and they kept beating up on her. And I'm thinking, okay, they're about to have Paige come out here and make the save. We're about to have the deal, and it never happened.
Yeah. I don't know. Last week was such a great week for women's professional wrestling in America, in North America. It was just a great week. I think it was maybe the best week I've ever seen, especially with the Charlotte match. TNA had a good match. WWE had a good match. Decent match on the pay-per-view. It was such a great week, storyline and everything.
How come they don't have the WWE? How come they don't have the Divas champion? I thought, okay, certainly they're going to reinforce her as a good guy and have her go out there and make the save against Nikki. And then this is something that bothered me, and this bothered me as someone who produces on television from a producer standpoint. I mean, not 10 seconds after Alicia Fox and Oksana got done beating the crap out of Nikki Bella, you saw the whole the whole Wyatt, the Wyatt family thing. And I'm like, this was one hell of a segue. I mean, that's like, slamming up on the emergency brake. This was awkward. Now, the whole interview itself, because you had Eric Rowan and Luke Harper standing there in the absence of Bray Wyatt, and then...
No, hold on. I'm just going to stop you there. We told you, if you feud with Cena, you don't exist. I think this is a Fight Club situation. I don't think there was ever a Bray Wyatt. I just don't think there was ever a Bray Wyatt. That's it. He just never existed. It was just a figment of our imagination. I told you, you feud with John Cena, you don't exist. He was there. He was there in the chair. It's just we're fucked up in the head and thought he existed. Obviously he doesn't. John Cena doesn't exist. He doesn't exist. All I'm saying is it's fucking science. It is science.
Well, what I liked about this was Luke Harper picked right up where Bray Wyatt left off. He talked about the Usos paying for their atrocities. They're not going to spare the flock. They're going to suffer their misdeeds, and they're going to burn. And then you just go over to Rowan and the sheep mask, just very subtle, just follow the buzzards. And I was like, wow. Maybe this is like a test run to kind of see if they're ready to compete for the tag team titles. I mean, I personally don't think they should, but I'm thinking. But Dave, are you picking that up from that interview? Were you picking it up as WWE's kind of testing them out to kind of see if they're tag team champion material?
Maybe. I just think that it's non-title. The fans are going absolutely insane for the Usos. I just don't understand their way of booking. And maybe it is a test, but test that shit out on a house show. You shouldn't be testing this shit out on Raw. You should and that's what house shows are for. Yeah. I don't know. I guess the feud is good, and maybe. I just thought all night long, it was nothing but heartbreak. You're like, these are our heroes. These are the guys we like, heel or face. Like, get it? They lost. And the fact that it was non-title, it's just fucking dirty. It's just dirty. You know how dirty it is? I'm going to tell you how fucking dirty it is. It's a Jim Carrey date night. And what I mean by that is Cable Guy. It is finding a very attractive girl at a party, you thinking you're hooking up with her, and then the next morning she's like, oh, that cost $200. That's how fucking dirty non-title matches are. Because you think this is a real match. You think this is a real relationship. You think, wow, it's starting to look up for Millhouse. That's what you think. And then you're like, oh, it was a non-title match. I'm glad I got invested in this. No, we need to end it, folks. We just need to fucking end it. And once again, it's just the Usos, they made a huge mistake. They learned how to wrestle and got over with the crowd. That's on them. That really is on them. You know what I mean? Usos, I hate to say it, but it's on you. That's your fault. Haven't we learned anything this episode? So I really enjoyed the match, but I did feel crazy dirty when it was non-title. I'm just like, you know what? I need to go take a shower. I need to burn my clothes. This is disgusting.
Well, I think you need to take a shower, but that has nothing to do with the wrestling match. But that's neither here nor there.
I enjoyed it while it lasted. I just thought it was something more than it was. And as any ugly guy who's ever gone on a date with a girl better looking than him, they know that feeling.
That's any girl you've ever dated, Dave.
What's that?
That's any girl you've ever dated.
That is true. I've only dated one girl that was uglier than me. That poor girl. She was a nice girl, but man, was she ugly. Everyone else I've dated like way out of my league. So, I'm a lucky like that. Or either that, or I'm just really ugly. If you're really ugly, it's kind of easy to date out of your league.
Oh yeah.
It's like hitting home runs on T-ball. But all right, you want to go to some comments?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, do comments real quick.
All right, Rihanna Jackson says, I thought kind of knew today would be the end of the Shields. I had a feeling for the pay-per-view, but WWE loves giving away good stuff on Raws. But I saw the look on Roman's face and thought it would be him for a second. Was surprised it was Seth. But then again, it makes sense. Evolution would only get better if they got rid of the old geezer Batista and got more youthful employment. Rihanna Jackson says, funny that the last time Seth was in Chicago, he walked out on his team, and the day after, the next time he came to Chicago, he does worse and attacks his team. Does something about this city possess him or something? Funny that he just did an interview where he said that him and his team don't have to break up. Oh, yeah, because they have to sell it. They could just have singles career without breaking up like DX did when they came back together a few times. Dave, how many years did you know Boom Boom for? Travis Moore said. Oh, I don't know. I'm really bad at that. I'm really bad at years.
We've actually been doing this since '07 when me and Joey Numbers first came and approached you about we actually did another wrestling radio show years ago, back in '06. I started out doing the whole effing show with Joey Numbers. Well,
you said you would never talk about her anymore.
Yeah. And we did that show to that network, completely went under that, and I also didn't like the fucking guy who took it over. And then we kind of got a recommendation for Dave Kokotis, and so we started doing shows on Kocosports.com, and then Joey kind of quit paying for our shows, and then I had to wind up paying for them, and then sometimes Dave would get, I think this was after some people left on .com, and asked me to fill in. That we kind of clicked immediately, and then when Joey wouldn't make shows, I'd have Dave come on the whole effing show, and then he would have me come over and do his shows, and so it just kind of clicked. So since about 2007, so about 7 years now. Now, actually, this is a strange thing. Dave and I have never actually met face to face. We've never physically been. I don't think me and Dave have ever physically been in the same state at the same time.
No, we did mention WrestleMania, but you had a girlfriend and a job. The whole Coco Sports crew went to WrestleMania 24. And
Dave's got me through a shitty relationship. Now he's getting me through a shitty job. So, Dave Kokotis has always been there for me, and I love him for that.
This is going bad fast. Now there goes our 5,000 subs. We're back to under 4,000, boobs. You get too mushy. All right, last comment from Mike Ashman. WWE throwing a curveball. I feel they're pulling the trigger a lot faster than once they thought due to Bryan being hurt. Great turn for Tyler Black. I hope they don't fuck up the future of WWE. Where do you think they go from here booking the Shield breakup? And
honestly, Dave, I think that's a question for Stump the Idiot, to be honest. I mean, I think we could almost do an entire show on that. In the short answer, you got to have Ambrose and Reigns, go out to get revenge. They kind of keep this feud going. Maybe they try to find a third member. I'm not so sure about putting a new third member for the Shield in, but that could be an idea. And I'm actually surprised the Shield hung around this long. Remember, they were supposed to break up before WrestleMania and have a three-way match, but that didn't happen. So I'm just glad the Shield lasted as long as they did.
I feel bad for Rob. Rob just got back into wrestling because of the Shield. He's going to start crying. But no, I'm giggling because I'm going to give an answer, and I know Boom Boom is just going to fucking go absolutely insane. All right, so this is what happens, right? Ric Flair comes out, and he's like, I got the third member of the Shield. I'm going to be running this shit. Okada, motherfuckers! Bam! Okada, he's got the Shield equipment on. Ric Flair's leading him. It's Ric Flair, Okada, the rest of the leftovers of the Shield. I'm sure Roman Reigns likes to be called the leftovers of the Shield. And bam! They go up against Evolution. Okada being led by Ric Flair. Dude, that's my booking answer to anything. Be like, how do you think you should rebuild the Divas division? Ric Flair comes out. And he manages Okada. That's what's saving pro wrestling. Ric Flair being the mouthpiece of Okada in WWE saves pro wrestling forever. Done. Matter of fact, ask me any booking question. Booms, ask me crazy booking questions. Go ahead.
How do you put the title on Bo Dallas?
Ric Flair comes out and he manages Okada. Give me two more, and then we'll go to the next match. Go ahead.
I'm not giving you two more. I'm not. You're like. Dave's like, you can give me 3 questions, but I need 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just love Okada being managed by Ric Flair. If I say it enough, it will happen. That's how real life works, right? The secret. Be positive.
Exactly. That's how it works.
Internet imagery. Just tell people.
Long enough, people believe it.
Exactly, man. All I know is, though, Booms, how much are you shitting your pants the one day Ric Flair does come out with Okada? If that ever happens.
Yeah, I will freak out. I'll be like, son of a bitch, you nailed it. But until that comes, it's just a pipe dream, and I have to put a quarter in the jar every time he brings it up. So I think in a couple more months I'll have enough to buy a bike.
All right, let's focus. Man, Okada managed by Ric Flair would be awesome. All right, what? You can't go off the high of Okada to what the fuck we're going to talk about next, but let's try.
We got to talk about it, but I've got trying to get a way to make it more interesting here. You had Adam Rose versus Jack Swagger again, but here's my question. Let's just take this match aside. By the way, Adam Rose won with this face plant. It basically looked like a bad version of the Stone Cold Stunner. I think he calls it the party foul. Let's just pull all that aside. I heard the CM Punk chants pick up during this match, so I gotta ask you, even you, Pablo, put down here in the comments. Let me know, Adam Rose. Do we give it more time, let it try to develop, or do we hit the eject button on Adam Rose? Come on, guys, you tell me. Adam Rose, thumbs up, give it more time, or just cut your losses now before it gets even worse.
Am I answering this? Am I free to answer? Okay. I was awkward. I'm like, am I supposed to be talking now? We worked together for 7 years. Honest. I would give it like.
I'm co-hosting the show. Should I answer this question for my other co-host?
I'm going with. I give it 2 more pay-per-views. I give it 2 more pay-per-views. I have Swagger and him wrestle at a pay-per-view. And then I have the rubber match later on or a rematch later on, and if it's not working by then I drop it. I'm not saying eject it right away.
Drop it? Do you drop the character? Do you throw Adam Rose back down to NXT? Do you fire him? What do you do with him?
I would bring him down to NXT and then maybe repackage him because he is over in NXT, and NXT is one of the best shows on television, I guess, because it's the network. It's one of the best wrestling shows out there, to be honest. I would send him down to NXT and see what happens. So, yeah, but I would give him 2 more pay-per-views because you never know. Bad News Barrett had a bad start, and now everyone loves him.
Oh God. So I mean, that's a good case right there. I'd be like, it's where I become like this lawyer, this old Southern lawyer. I got like my white little button-down shirt, my suspenders, my little tie right there, and then I just, pat my head with a band. I'd be like, Your Honor, I would like to present in my defense here of my client, Adam Rose. I would like to present the case of Bad News Barrett. Not over in the first part. In fact, he was booed out the building. But, Your Honor, I will say that my client did successfully turn his career around and capture the Intercontinental title. I rest my case here. That's what I feel like sometimes.
All right, so yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I give him 2 more pay-per-views. I finished this feud with Swagger because that's one thing that Paul Heyman and ECW did that I enjoyed. Paul Heyman would finish a storyline no matter if it got over or not, and sometimes at the end it did get over. So I would finish the storyline for 2 more pay-per-views, and if it's not getting over, just have Swagger beat him. Maybe even loser leaves town. I don't know. That's kind of very 80s indie style.
Break his ankle.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Break his ankle. That gives him an excuse to get off this thing. It takes him off TV. It cools him down. He can come back in not about 6 weeks. He can say, okay, it wasn't as bad as first thought. He'll be back in the ring, and then it could just be his storyline. He comes back to NXT. The party's back, and he's trying to build his way back up again. So I mean that could be something there.
And Rob from Con Artist Entertainment has not watched Raw yet live. All I sent him was a message, I'll be there for you. Anyone who knows who Rob is just absolutely loves the Shield. Poor guy doesn't even know what's coming up. Doesn't even know. All I said is, I'll be there for you. Just call me. All right. Do you want to go some comments, or you want to keep on this?
No, let's keep on trucking here. We got we had a tag team match here. It was a non-title match. You had the Usos versus the Wyatt family. it started out pretty slow, but I really liked the match. It really picked up towards the end. I think it wasn't until about 14 minutes into that match when everything was just going crazy. There was false finishes, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. And I finally got to see Eric Rowan's fucking finishing maneuver. It was like a version of the sidewalk slam. But the Wyatt family picks up a win on over the tag team champions. Now it sucks that you had to have a non-title match and your tag team champions lost. However, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it makes sense because they've been feuding, they've been caught up in this feud, and then now you've got the Wyatt family got a win over them, puts them in the mix for the tag team titles, and I'm like, okay. But I think ultimately, and this is just one of my wrestling theories here, is this whole thing made John Cena look even more like a dick. You're like, what? How is the hell does this make John Cena? Because think about it. When John Cena needed help, the Usos were there. The Usos had his back. When he was at the Last Man Standing match, boom, Usos had his back. They got their asses kicked on behalf of John Cena to try to help him out. Usos needed a little help. Where's Cena? Where's he at? Is he coming out? Is he gonna come out and console him? Is he gonna give him a little help? Give him a little backup? Nope, he doesn't fucking show up. Doesn't make a peep. All he does is go into the ring against Stephanie McMahon and just ridicules her and kiss Daniel Bryan's ass. So
yeah, I thought we talked about this match already. Did I mess up and talk about this match when I was supposed to be talking about the Goldust tag match?
No, we talked about the vignette that they did.
Oh, gotcha.
This is my job. I'm the rememberer.
Yeah. I'm like, didn't we talk about this? What the fuck's going on? I'm so confused. Grandpa moment. Yeah, I loved everything about this. The John Cena thing is a huge factor, but the non-title thing is bullshit. And, the Usos are amazing as always. So, and you know what? Even though John Cena fucked him as a bad friend in the WWE universe, maybe they couldn't find his music, I'd rather have them not even be friends. Like if I was the Usos, I'd be like, listen, Cena, you're thinking you're helping us, but you're not. You ever have that one big fat friend? I might be Boom Boom's friend for this. I'm laughing. I'm about to give an example, and Boom Boom's like, it's you. You ever have that one big fat friend who thinks he's helping but makes everything worse? He's like, hey, let me go grab that box for you. And then he fucking smashes the box, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, let me help you build that. And he breaks something, or he's like, hey, let me help you. And everything he helps you with just turns into garbage. And you're like, you want to be nice. You're like, oh, man. But at the same time, you're like, you know what? I think I got this one. You can just sit back, Cena. Cena's that guy who just fucks up shit. Like, he's nice. But in Cena's head, he's like, I'm helping you, right, guys? And the Usos are like, yeah, about that, Cena. It would be cool if you just stayed in the back. Yeah, I'm sure you all have friends that do that. But for Boom Boom and Pablo, I am probably that friend. But that's how I feel. Like, I think the Usos are better off. Like, when the Usos lost their non-title match, they're like, at least fucking John Cena didn't come down. Tell me about it, brother. Fuck that guy. So, I really enjoyed this match. I just didn't like the fact that it was non-title.
All right. I had no problem with it. As long as it leads to something, chances are with WWE it's not. Then here's the match that fucking pissed me off tonight. It was, you had Money in the Bank qualifying match, because I don't know how the hell they're coming up with this booking, how they're determining who's qualifying, who's in what, but they said we're going to have a qualifying match. We got Dolph Ziggler versus Alberto Del Rio. And I'm like, all right, here we go. This is going to be a good, and it fucking flopped. Ziggler was fucking amazing, but fucking Del Boring got the win with the cross arm breaker. And I'm just like, oh, God, I hate Del Rio. I really do. And I hate what they're doing to Dolph Ziggler. He made the cardinal sin. He could wrestle. He's over with the crowd, but for whatever reason, WWE isn't behind him, and so therefore he has to job to everybody.
That's Dolph Ziggler. You know what? I'm not even going to lie, dude. I try to be positive. No, I don't try to be positive. I try to be not negative, I guess is the best part. I try not to be negative. But I kid you not, this match almost fucking broke me. I was just like, are you fucking for real? The fans were so into Ziggler. Ziggler can go. Del Rio is boring as fuck. He's safe, you know. I'm sure if I had to pick an opponent and I cared about fucking money and my career going along, I'd pick Del Rio because, you know, he can't fucking hurt a fly. But, you know, I don't know. I just, to me, I just fucking, like, this almost broke me. Like, if it wasn't for the heel turn at the end of the book, I think I might have fucking stopped. I have no idea how Ziggler can do this, and this just brings the conspiracy theory even fucking stronger. If you can wrestle and over with the... Like, dude, okay, if Dolph Ziggler's gonna lose, fine, let him lose. But at least for Money in the Bank match, put in the best fucking wrestlers. Can you at least fucking do that? I mean, Shelton Benjamin and Kofi Kingston, you at least gave them opportunities at fucking Money in the Bank. Can you at least let Dolph Ziggler lose on the biggest stage? Can you at least let that happen? And not only that, but Del Rio is fucking leaving. He's not only mailing it in the ring, he's mailed it in mentally. That motherfucker is worse than CM Punk as far as mailing it in. At least CM Punk's at home and fucking you get chance from him. Del Rio, like, probably doesn't even know where the fuck he is. He's just like, man, how many more days? That motherfucker's like, headlock, 76 more days of my contract. Armbar, 76 days and 14 hours. You know, he's just fucking counting down. This motherfucker has mailed it in his whole goddamn career and just wants to go home. He doesn't even want to be there anymore. And Dolph Ziggler is an amazing wrestler, over with the crowd, and can go. And not only are you fucking ruining everything about pro wrestling in one match, you're ruining the future. What the fuck is your problem? And I understand. Hey, I completely understand. Dolph Ziggler can wrestle, and Dolph Ziggler's over with the crowd. How fucking dare he? How fucking... What is he thinking? That ballsy motherfucker being good at his job and connecting with an audience. You no good fucking piece of shit. I understand where you're coming from, WWE. But, dude, at least let him lose at fucking... How? How? How is this even possible? Like, Del Rio has a chance of winning? No! That motherfucker is counting down the days. Does this contract even go to Money in the Bank? He wants to go home. Just let him go home. Del Rio, thank you for your services. Go home. I don't fucking get it. I don't fucking get it. And this almost fucking broke me. It's just like, yeah, I understand you don't like Dolph Ziggler. We fucking get it. We get it. We're being punished. We ruined your Dave Batista fucking WrestleMania moment. We ruined that. The people, the fans have ruined that. I want to say sorry that we ruined your fucking little playground. But here's the thing, dude. At least let him lose on the biggest fucking stage of all. This is fucking getting ridiculous. And you know what? It's almost got to the point of, well, if we get behind him like we did with CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, you know what? Here's an idea, WWE. What if a good wrestler was pushed and did a great job and we didn't have to bust your balls about it? Wouldn't that be wonderful? Like, you're always like, I hate the CM Punk chants. I hate the fact that they're fucking saying yes. I hate the fact that they're ruining segments. Well, here's an idea. I don't want to fucking work this hard as a wrestling fan. Why not just give Dolph Ziggler a bone? Why not at least let him lose Money in the Bank? From a fucking crap. I don't, like, dude, it takes too much energy to even fucking enjoy pro wrestling. You have to get together on Facebook. Hey, guys, do we all like this guy? All right, let's fucking get together and fucking just ruin the fucking show so that our guy can have a chance. Here's an idea. Why not just make it easy for us? Just give us a guy to root for. Just give us a guy to root for. You know, it is fucking tiring. It is a goddamn job being a fucking fan of your fucking product because you're like, dun 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 dun, versus Batista all day. And you're like, why aren't you happy, kids? Oh, why don't you do something about it? Oh, fucking so disrespectful and CM Punk chants, and yes, and I can't believe these fans. Fuck you! Give us a good goddamn product, alright? Man, it's easier to fucking conquer the FCC on internet piracy than it is to fucking deal with these fucking assholes. Congratulations, Del Rio. You don't give a shit. No one gives a shit. And when the wrestler himself doesn't give a shit, why do you put him over? Del Rio would be like, yeah, sure, dude, fucking pin me. I don't give a fuck. I'm going home. fuck this company. That's Del Rio's stance. And you're like, you know what? Let's fucking let that guy go over.
And then it didn't get much better today. We had a tag team match. Remember from last night that Cody Rhodes said that his brother Goldust needed a better tag team partner for him, so there was a match with Ryaxel where Cody Rhodes was going to select Goldust as partner, and I was like, okay, this could be interesting. Who's he going to pick to replace himself? For his brother to help take on the people that they lost to, and it was Sin Cara. And I said, well, if you guys don't give a shit, neither do I. Click. And was flipping around and started looking for other stuff on TV. I honestly don't know what happened. I know that Ryaxel won, but other than that, I just didn't care.
Sin Cara is the saddest fucking story ever. From every aspect. From the new Sin Cara to the old Sin Cara. Just Sin Cara is a sad, sad, sad story. Yeah. Fuck. I've said this before. The Rhodes brothers, it's too late. No one gives a shit. You had your chance to have the WrestleMania match, and you blew it. No one gives a shit. Game over. All right, we're getting a little cranky. When we get cranky, I think we need a little bit of time for fucking comments. All right, Boom, do you want to fucking regroup here with some comments? Because I'm getting cranky ass. And, because in YouTube, if you're cranky all the time, people are like, why are you angry? Let's see if the comments can calm me down. Mike Ashman. I thought Batista was just quitting and walking out to be pretty lame and the easy way out. At least have the Shield take out a member before they're splitting would have came off a lot stronger on screen. Yeah, I agree. I thought for sure Batista was going to fake an injury, but in WWE's defense, like I thought for sure, like even pay-per-view profits, I thought for sure Batista was going to be injured. But in WWE's defense, even though that is a way better idea, he's going to be everywhere. And I know it's very old kayfabe-ish, but if you like break his arm or his leg or his ankle, even with Adam Rose, they would probably give him time off. Now the problem is they're going to give Batista time off, but he's going to be everywhere on TMZ. He's going to be everywhere on the dirt sheets. And I know it's not the world of kayfabe, and I know I agree with your storyline more, Mike Ashman, but I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I understand why WWE didn't do it because, wow, Batista's gone because he got his neck broken or his arm broken. Oh, there he is. There he is promoting his movie on the red carpet, not wearing a cast. And I think Batista, after this run, isn't wearing a cast to fucking help put over a storyline. I think at this moment, that ship has sailed. So I think this is the best they could have done without fucking... Because you got to remember, Batista, even though he was a complete failure this run, he's still part of the D Club, and they don't want to disrespect him. Rihanna Jackson, I just had a thought. It's a long shot, but this could be a ploy by the Shield to finally end Evolution. Seth can get inside info now. Oh, man, this sounds like Rob. Rihanna Jackson and Rob should get together. Rob is definitely going to love this idea. I think Seth versus Roman versus Dean would be great. The Shield is the best thing to happen to WWE in a while. I agree with that. So it's a great plan. Do they have now? Plus, Bo Dallas for Bray Wyatt, half-brother versus half-brother, pro-Cena versus anti-Cena, make it happen, WWE. I like these ideas. I could see it, maybe, but I don't know if it would work. I don't know. I know Rob would love it. Rob just fell in love with you. He hasn't watched it yet. He hasn't watched this show. He hasn't watched our show or Raw yet, but I'm sure he's going to watch both. And Rihanna Jackson, I just want you to know, Rob loves you. Yeah, so, I don't know, the half-brother versus half-brother thing, I think you got to push that back until Bo is
that's a long time coming.
Yeah, but Bo has to be more over, and Bray has to wash the Cena off him. So I think that in the future that could happen. But yeah, as far as them being a spy, it would be great because the Shield will still be along, but then this heel turn that we're about to talk about would lose its specialness so quick. And I don't know if people, I don't know how people would go. It's interesting. Do you think that would be a good idea? Seth just tricked him, and he's really still part of the Shield. I mean, it hurts Okada's return, but
yeah, if they were trying to like abort, then that's something I could see happening. But to me, it doesn't make sense. Oh, they need to get the inside man in to defeat the Shield. No, they beat the Shield twice, 2 months in a row on 2 pay-per-views. Then one of them quit. They had a 3-on-2 advantage. It makes no sense to go, okay, you pretend to turn on us, and you give us inside information. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the numbers game. The numbers game definitely shoots that down. All right, and Pablo wants to say, support Coco Sports, our show, and our website by buying a T-shirt, Internet Infantry shirts. If you buy an Internet Infantry shirt, we will make a 5-question video that you ask, and plus, it's pretty snazzy. You get to support us, so please go check it out. Kocosports.com or Kocosports.net. Buy an Internet Infantry shirt, and we'd really appreciate it. We'll make a video. I think I owe someone a video, so maybe it'll be a video this week. But yeah, and also if you send us a picture, we'll put if you're not shy. Some people are shy. Some people are like, I ain't sending you no picture of me in a T-shirt. Not Forsaken. Have you seen Forsaken's photos? Forsaken's all like up into Randy Orton and stuff posing. So yeah. But yeah, buy a shirt, support us. We really appreciate it. Plus, the more shirts you buy, the more I can poke Pablo with a stick and be like, come on, make a new shirt. Make a new shirt. But Pablo was like, you've sold 97 shirts. You got to reach 100. I over-exaggerated those numbers to look more popular than we really are. But no, please support us by buying a shirt. Really appreciate it. All right, speaking of Forsaken, Cena's banging Nikki Bella in the locker room when Usos went down. Oh, that makes sense. That or kissing Vince's ass to get a 15th title run. Can you believe John Cena's going to surpass Ric Flair? That's why Ric Flair needs Okada. I can't stop saying it, Booms. It's a sickness. It's a disease. Yuri Blake says 3 things. WWE needs to pull the plug on Paul Heyman talking about the streak. Oh, no, I disagree, Mr. Blake. That's awesome. John, the Immortal Messiah Cena, and the Divas division. Yeah, that's a possibility. But I don't know. Last week, I know this sounds bad. The Divas division has been horrible its whole life, but last week was pretty damn good. They should just make all the Divas serve drinks and snacks. Oh, this is getting bad, Blake. Make all the Divas serve drinks and snacks and sexy clothes and do Extreme Expose every couple of weeks, because I swear the Divas are shit. Mixed worth shit. Yeah, the problem is they don't have a lot of good women's wrestling. They are improving, but when it comes to women's wrestling, there are not many good ones. AJ Lee, Natty when she brings her A game. Charlotte really impressed me. I didn't know Charlotte was that damn good. She's really improved, though. She wasn't always that good. She improved so much. I'm so proud of her. Like, whenever I see someone improve that much, I feel like, wow, I can connect to that person, And who else? AJ Lee, Natty, and Paige. I think that's it, but that considered to be good wrestlers. But they're improving little by little. But yeah, Paul Heyman, talking about the streak, that makes me giggle every time. I'm sorry. I love Paul Heyman. All right. So, and yeah, John Cena needs to pull a Dave Batista. He has to become successful at something. I said, John Cena, you tell us, John Cena or Vince McMahon, you tell us how much money you need. Not to buy the company, just to make the company good and John Cena to walk away. And we'll start the Kickstarter tonight. If you're like, hey, we need $25 million. We might not reach the $25 million, but you know what? I am willing to start a Kickstarter. You just come on, John Cena, and be like, hey, listen, the Internet Infantry is not happy with me. I'd like to walk away. This is my price. And then we'll start pitching a Kickstarter. It's not going to happen, but a boy can dream. A boy can dream. All right, Booms. Pablo, send us more comments when they come in. Put down some live comments. Pablo is in the Kocosports.com cave sending us the comments, so appreciate it. Booms, get us back on track. Where are we at?
All right. Next here we had Rusev and Lana in the... Dear God. The hero of the Russian Federation ceremony, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, somebody's going to interrupt this, right? I mean, it's going to be Big E Langston. He's going to come out and ask for a rematch. They're going to have somebody else new come out and challenge them. There's going to be some kind of interrupt. No. They want to talk some shit. They went down to the stage. They had this one guy, Dimitri or whatever, awarded him a golden star in the worst fucking Russian accent I have ever heard.
In the Internet Infantry chat, people said they were from New Jersey. They just picked 3 random fans from New Jersey and said, hey, do you want free tickets? Here's a job. That's what the Internet Infantry said in the chat. But go on.
And then nothing happened, and I'm like, what was the point?
Well, and not all that, but, like, it's just so out of touch. Like, I don't think, this is going to...
Oh, here's another thing, and this was like a Dave Kokotis moment for me. I have what I call Kokotis moments where like I just flip out over some like random shit. I was like, now please rise for the Russian national anthem, and they were playing the old Soviet national anthem, and I'm like, this is going worldwide. Dear God, they think we're all fucking retarded.
They're so out of touch, dude. This is the perfect thing. They're so out of touch. And not only that, but nowadays, who's still that patriotic? Like, USA! USA! Really? And the best part is, I don't know, we were debating this in the Internet Infantry chat, which we do on Google+. Add me on Google+, I'll put you in the Internet Infantry, and then we can join our chats with Forsaken, Ewok, and the rest of the gang. Mr. Moore was there. It was a bunch of us. But, yeah, but this was my big topic on the Internet Infantry chat. And my whole thing is, first off, they're chanting USA so half-heartedly. Like, USA! USA! Yeah! And then they're like, oh, I know it will get hate. Let's mention Hero Snowden. And the chants went from, there's either two options. They either went, USA, US, well, Snowden, really? He's the bad guy? Or they didn't know who Snowden was. So either when they mentioned Snowden, it was like, USA, 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 and sorry, Russian hero Snowden. Either the audience went, well, I'm not sure about that, or they just went, who's Snowden? Because they just killed the crowd. I don't know which one. I don't know how smart the audience is. You know, sometimes wrestling fans get a bad reputation, but I imagine either half of them went, who is that guy, or the other half went, well, oh, I don't know. Is he really a bad guy? But it just shows how out of touch it was. And the music, I was going to mention the music. The music was, I don't even know what to say, dude. They just want to live in the 80s forever. And I wonder how many people caught that stuff. But, I mean, go watch it again. It is awkward. The whole thing is fucking awkward. And I just think they're like, oh, get it? This worked in the 80s. It will work now. And I think, yeah, I think globalization is changing that. I don't think there's people that are blindly like, yeah, USA! I don't think those people exist anymore. I hope not, anyway. I hope at least people are thinking. But, yeah, it was awkward. And not all that, but, like, it's not the 80s anymore. And not all that, but he's not even from Russia. So Michael Cole has to explain. Like, Michael Cole's like, well, he's a Russian hero going through Los Angeles with a pit stop in Australia, and like Michael Cole has to give this long speech of why he's waving a Russian flag. So
because it made no sense that, okay, he's a Bulgarian, but he's pro-Russian. So if he's Bulgarian and not Russian, why is he waving the Russian flag? Why is he? And they're like, fuck it, he's moved to Russia. Now shut the fuck up.
It's just someone who's completely out of touch, dude. I just, you know what? I just want to go to Vince and be like, it's okay. The 80s are over. Come here. I understand. Oh, man. I don't know. And my whole thing is, I don't understand, like, where they expect to get the heat from. I just find it to be hilarious. But any nuts. Yeah, besides WWE showing how out of touch they are, did this accomplish anything else?
It accomplished nothing. I mean, there was nothing established. It was just, okay, Rusev's going to get a medal. Okay, he's got his medal. We're going to go to commercial now. Thank you.
Where's Big E Langston? I thought he must be dead. If he dies, he dies. Poor Big E. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought, like, my whole thing is maybe this works in backwoods indie promotions. I don't see this working on a national stage. Not anymore. Not anymore. I mean, it's sad, but if you want to do controversial political stuff, you have to go after the parties. People are not loyal to a country anymore. People are loyal to their parties. So if you really want to be political, I would have a guy that's like, oh, the elephants smell like shit. Donkeys are weak bitches. Then you'll get people fucking going, screaming, going crazy. But I think the biggest problem with this is, A, it's not the 80s, and B, no one's loyal to a country. They're loyal to a party. And I know it's sad, but WWE is learning that on a huge scale. I mean, remember when the Tea Party thing first started?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people got into that, and they'll argue that all night. Like, just go to this new website called Facebook and ask someone, what's your political beliefs? And they'll never shut the fuck up, because that's what they believe in. They don't believe in their country. They believe in their party. And if you want to get people riled up, like even me, I'm like, I hate both sides. And they didn't hear I hate both sides. Viewers heard, he hates my side! Son of a bitch! Unsubscribe! No more 5,000! So that's where you get a passionate thing, you know. That's where you get a passionate response. But my whole thing is, maybe we should get past those passionate responses and just put on a good product. I know it sounds crazy, but a good product might work. But it just shows how out of touch they are. All right, so happy birthday, Russia, or whatever that segment was about.
That's okay. You know, well, we just got to talk about it, man. It's the heel turn by Seth Rollins. I was shocked because I thought of all things. One, it didn't make any sense. So next week they're going to have to do a really good job of explaining why, since you're on the winning team, Seth, why would you jump over to the losing team? Two, why wasn't it Ambrose? Because I thought if there was a natural heel, it was Dean Ambrose. But Seth Rollins turns on his teammates. Is going to be the newest member of Evolution. What do you guys? I mean, what are you thinking, Dave? I mean, you thinking they're going to have to do a lot of explaining, or you think or should we give it time? I mean, what do you make out of it? I mean, personally, like I explained, I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense. Okay, you just beat Evolution 2 times in a row on pay-per-view. You've got the 3-on-2 advantage. You're about to run them out. These are guys who screwed you over. What can they possibly offer you? Now, that's going to be the thing, and then. Two, if it was you booking it, would you book Rollins? I mean, me personally, I would do Ambrose because I think he would do better as a bad guy, but I'm kind of interested to see where this is headed.
Yeah, I don't know, because the whole thing is, one, it's so easy to fill that hole. Why does anyone do anything? Money. You can be like, oh, I got money. You can come out in a suit. You can come, you know what I mean? Like, 'cause you got to remember, the Shield's there for justice and getting paid. You know, so at the same time, that would make sense. Plus, there have been clips where he's like Miss Jackson said earlier, he walked out on the Shield before. He's like, you guys figure it out. So maybe he's like, you know what? This Brotherhood's kind of a pain in the ass. I can get paid big bucks. I'm out, bitches. But I thought how it was done was good. Yeah, they do need some explaining to do, and not as bad as Aces and Eights explaining. But they do need a little bit of explaining, but I just think the answer is easy. Money, you know. Why did Boo Boo leave Kocosports after 5,000 subs? Money.
Do you keep Ambrose and Reigns together as a tag team, or do you try to find a third person to fill that spot in the Shield? There's been
Are you really fucking answering? You're really asking me that? Are you asking me that? I'll tell you what I'd do. I'd have Ric Flair come out.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I regret this already.
I'd have Ric Flair come out and be like, I'm going to be in charge of the Shield, and I got the new best fucking wrestler in the world right now, and it would be, dun-dun! I'm just kidding. It would be Okada. No, in my dream world, I'd have Okada join and have Ric Flair lead him, but, yeah, I would definitely bring up a third person, maybe an NXT guy. You know, remember, the original third person who's been cut, Roman Reigns wasn't supposed to be. Roman Reigns was a last-second swap. It was supposed to be Chris Hero. And Chris Hero, well, he's doing good on the Indies.
The rest is history.
Yeah. But Roman Reigns, who a lot of people were mad with, proved a lot of people wrong. And I know, like, you know, people that are anti-pro wrestling and love making fun of pro wrestling fans, like, oh, say you hated Roman Reigns. Yeah, but everyone, even if you love pro wrestling, everyone loves an improvement story, you know? And I think that's one thing that people pick on wrestling fans for. Like, you hated Roman Reigns, you hated Magnus, you hated The Miz. Yeah, but if they fucking improve, we judge people on their skills. And I think Roman Reigns improved so much, and still improving. Like, just the potential in that kid is amazing. But yeah, I would definitely bring up an NXT guy. I'm not really sure. Maybe, I think he's a little bit small for WWE standards, but maybe Sami Zayn. But I don't know, he's kind of too happy. I'm trying to think who else.
What about Corey Graves?
Oh yeah, that's not bad. Does he still have a job? NXT cuts a lot of people. I hope Graves still has a job. Great, like, call him up. Like, I can see that moment of WWE, like, well, let's make Corey Graves the third guy. Does he still work here? Yeah, Corey Graves wouldn't be bad. I'm just thinking, yeah, maybe Neville, but I don't know, because you got to remember, it's a three-man team. You have the talker. I could see a small guy replacing him because the high flyer is the one who left for Evolution. So maybe Neville, maybe Sami Zayn, but I think Sami Zayn has too much personality. I don't think he would blend in good. But I don't know. I think maybe a smaller, high flyer NXT guy. You know, Tyson Kidd. That's crazy talk. They're never going to respect Tyson Kidd. I love you, Tyson Kidd. But yeah, I think they definitely have to get a third member. So it'd be interesting. But all I know is if I keep saying Okada, he might be the third member.
Yeah, Corey Graves is still on there.
Oh, Prince Devitt, Kenta. We forgot about all these guys that haven't appeared on NXT yet.
Dude, to be honest, man, you're not going to get these guys on the main roster for at least a year.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Realistically.
Most likely. But yeah, I would definitely get a third guy. The guys I've listed. There's so many great talent in NXT. So it would be really hard for WWE to fuck this one up, in my opinion. I mean, they really have to go out of their way. They have to go like, you know what, we're going to fuck this up on purpose. I mean, they really, because there's so much talent in NXT. They just have to. But yeah. All right, you want to go some comments here?
Yeah, let's do some comments and wrap this show up.
All right. Pablo is back, so please put in the comments because we are going to end this show soon. Also in the comments, put win, loss, tie. We do keep track of it on the blogs, and I am like 8 months behind. All right, so Alex the Sauce Boss. Will the Shield get a new member, or will Triple H be more of a manager of the tag team and do tag team? I guess he's talking about... Oh, okay, well, he asked that question, but I'm also talking about Evolution, I guess. I'd love to see Triple H step down and a third member of Evolution go, and Randy Orton be the old guy. And if they do that, Evolution, it has to be a really young guy. Because, you know, you had a guy on the WWE roster for a while, you have an older guy with Randy Orton, you have Triple H playing the Ric Flair part, have a really young guy.
Here's the other thing. If they're going to add like a new guy to Evolution where you just make it, put a third person in there to have Triple H take a step back, why not Tyler Breeze?
Maybe. Tyler Breeze really impressed me this last week, but I don't know. But then again, they can always change his gimmick just a little bit. Because I think the problem with Sami Zayn and Tyler Breeze is their gimmicks are way over the top for these main event spots. I think they would either make them a little bit like cooler and tougher versions of them. But yeah, it would definitely be interesting. Will the Shield? Oh, I already read that. Alex is off box. Time out. Regroup. Everything's a bit cool. Alex the Sauceball says, when will Miz come back? If he's not coming back as a heel, never. I love The Miz. I think The Miz is one of the most improved wrestlers of all time. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, a lot of people sometimes laugh. I really think Miz is, from where he started to where he is now, especially when he was main eventing with Cena at WrestleMania, I think he's one of the most improved. I think his video package for that WrestleMania is the best video package of all time. I really believe that. I know people don't share that opinion, but go back and watch that video package. That was fucking amazing. I think he's one of the most improved wrestlers of all time. But if he's a face, fuck him. He has to be heel. He just has to. And I'm a huge Miz maniac, or whatever the fuck he calls his fans. I love The Miz, especially how much he's improved. Such a great story. With that said, he cannot pull off being a face at all. So I hope he comes back, but I only want him back as a heel. And maybe he joins the Evolution. Now, that would be annoying as shit. I don't think he would be the guy to join it. But yeah, I'd love to see The Miz come back as long as he's a heel. I love Miz as a heel. As a face, no. He's fucking worse than John Cena as a face. Booms, when do you think Miz is coming back?
As soon as they get done filming the Marine Part 4.
Yeah. So, speaking of movies, this is off topic, but we get off topic sometimes. Did you watch Edge's movie? Where he's down in New Orleans as a cop? It's on YouTube right now for a limited time, because you know copyright guys are going to eat that up. Dude, it's bad. It's so bad I couldn't stop watching it. It's a great kind of bad. If you're a guy who really enjoys wrestlers and movies and it's a bad movie, go watch it. It's on YouTube. I don't know what it's called, but Edge is in it, and the whole thing is there, and it's bad. It's a good kind of bad. You're just going to watch it and be like, what the fuck were they thinking? Well, let's put it this way. They end on the worst joke ever. But yeah, it's bad. But Edge is in it, so you get to see Edge. All right, I think that's it. Pablo, any more comments? Booms, you do your pitch. If Pablo doesn't send us any more comments, we'll save the rest of the comments for Stump the Idiot. All right, Booms, show why you're the best pitch man in the business. Move over.
Absolutely. I will. I'd like to thank everybody who subscribed to us. If you're new, we'd like you to subscribe to us. We want to hit the next 5,000. We want to get to 10,000 now. So please help us achieve that goal. And, of course, you can always support us 24/7 at Kocosports.com. That's KOCOsports.com. Your home for all combat sports. That includes wrestling, boxing, mixed martial arts. If you can get your nose broke doing it, man, we got it covered right there on the site. We've even got we're constantly adding to our video on demand section. We're constantly updating our news and gossip areas. We've even got a little fitness and health section for those of you looking to lose a couple of pounds and need a little help. So check us out at Kocosports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass.
Yeah, I always feel guilty when you start plugging the fitness section. Trust me, we're not the fitness guys. I just want you to know we are not the fitness guys. Thank you again, 5,000 subs. Hopefully we didn't lose any during this podcast. Hopefully we gained some. Also, I'm going to be doing this week 6 months. We're at the halfway point of fantasy wrestling. I want to thank Forsaken for running the league. I'm going to update it, and then we're going to break down the halfway year thing. And for new viewers, you guys might not find that interesting, but that's more for the players / old school Internet Infantry members. Let's see. Also, Internet Infantry T-shirts. Buy them, please. Just go there and buy them. Pablo beats us with sticks if you don't buy them. He's a very mean person. Speaking of a mean person, go to Sword Dog, SOARDOGG.com. It's the Coco Sports for nerdy stuff, movies, video games, and all that fun stuff. Me and Pablo, we have a penciled-in meeting about how I'm going to come over and ruin Sword Dog for him. I'm like, you know what? Sword Dog's a very nice site. Let me tell you how I'm going to ruin it, Pablo. We'll have a meeting later. But no, go check it out. Jump on the bandwagon. We hope to do a lot of fun stuff there. So Sword Dog. And also, we opened up a printing section. So if you run your own indie events, any combat sports event or any printing situation, please check us out, because that's what helps the website run, and that's what, when the website runs, we get to do this, and Pablo doesn't get to beat us, so we appreciate it. So, printing, T-shirts, fantasy wrestling, and thank you so much for 5,000 subs. Maybe we'll have to do like a little special thank you video, because that's what you're supposed to do on YouTube. That's like the rules. Hopefully we didn't lose that many subscribers. Subscribe now, just in case we lost some people. All right, and Boom Boom looking for 10,000. Hope your brakes, kid. Let's just shoot for 6,000, okay? Let's shoot for 6,000. All right, one step at a time. 1,000 subs at a time. Thank you so much, Internet Infantry. I do not see any comments, so either Pablo has gone to bed or the Internet Infantry is like, you know what? Let's end this shit. We got work to do. Don't you care about Boom Boom and his job? Boom Boom, thank you for staying way past your bedtime on work nights. And go to Kocosports.com!